Yeah, Carol.
Hey Des, how are you today?
Hi, Tui.
Good to see you. How you doing?
Good to see you, Ezra.
You too, mate. How you going?
Very well, thank you.
Here we are.
Nice.
Settle back.
So we can have a little yarn about how reconciliation affects us. And I think the challenge for particularly Aboriginal and Noongar people is get over the terminology.
As in the word reconciliation.
As in the word reconciliation, because that's a challenge for us.
Yeah.
Because we haven't done anything wrong to reconcile.
Yeah.
But how do we balance that? So right here, this is about a hand being held out in friendship so that we can walk together.
I think for me it's really coming together with two different stories. It's, you know, the insider and the outsider perspective. If you don't know someone's story, you need to sit down and listen. In Aboriginal culture, you don't learn by talking, you learn by listening. So it's listening to everyone's stories.
For me it means life. You know, I've got children who their father is non-Aboriginal, non-Aboriginal great-great-grandparents. So it's how we have a balance, but we have to accept all our family, and I need to provide a place for my kids to belong.
It's about changing people's perspectives and views of what does reconciliation actually mean as well. You know, coming together, walking as one, understanding past histories, but coming together, moving forward from there.
It's the opportunity as a non-Aboriginal person for me to go on a journey. I can do my bit to support and engage with the First Peoples of Australia, which is very important to me, as well as becoming aware in more recent times of the difficult and unfortunate aspects where we're still encountered with racism. There are still different levels of privilege for different people in society, that sort of stuff. So, do you feel we are reconciled?
No, we're not there yet, no. And I don't know if it's a destination that you arrive at or a journey that, continually you go on.
What's the future hold for you, or what do you think the future holds?
Yeah, I guess I just want to be, living in a place where, we're not having to continually categorise everybody into different, systems and classes. And yeah, I just want people to understand that we're all human beings and that we're all sharing one planet, and, we've all got a role to play to ensure that, the future is bright for everybody.
Yeah.
It's about that acceptance, acknowledgement and respect. For me, they're like the three key words. I think that's how we are going to move forward and together. Acceptance, acknowledge and respect for what we actually hold within our, right down to the microcosm of our DNA, that knowledge and that wisdom that is in there.
What I'd like to see us achieve as a state and as a nation is some consensus about what reconciliation actually means for the future. So whilst there's history and what's happened in the past must be respected and understood, I'm really focused on how we change the future, how we actually create something better than we've had. And so that's been my focus since day one. What's the next jump? What do we need to do? I
think a few things. A lot more Aboriginal people, obviously in television and media, is obviously a good start, and mainstream, not just on the channels that I watch as an Aboriginal person, but mainstream media, leadership roles. We obviously have these now. There's lots of people I know in leadership roles. I think that's a change I'd like to see. I'd like to see more of it. I'd like to see a lot of more Aboriginal kids being able to pull themselves out of those sorts of spaces. I mean, I'm one of those kids that grew up in poverty and managed to get dragged out of it. And I'd like to see a lot more of that change. You've still got a lot to do in that space.
The whole world is not looking for who's got the strongest army or who's going to overthrow who, but who actually can get on with who. Who actually can exist and coexist with a different way of thinking. And that, I think, is very exciting about the future, is that you do the right things now and the future takes care of itself, because the future is a byproduct of what we're doing now.